And this doesn't do it justice, but yeah, these are really great photos. Hey guys, Dave again, the train guy from The Hobby Man by Hearns. Today we're doing something a little bit different. I know we're known as a model shop, which can take on many different things, but we also do books. And this is one that I think that deserves a bit of attention. These are actually truly beautiful books. At this stage, we've only got 2 out of the range, and there's a few more, but being native Victorians here at Hearns, we've concentrated on the Victorian one first and the Tasmanian one second. But anyway, I'll do the intro. Where are we? Ted Payne, Vantage Point Victoria. Where are we? Yep. Anyway, the reason why these books are so great is because the guy who put them together had the foresight decades ago to go out all around regional Victoria to photograph trains as a native Victorian from Geelong. This is the guy here, Ted Payne. Now, interesting thing about this chap, not only is he a brilliant photographer, but he was actually quite short-sighted, so he wasn't able to drive anywhere by himself. So everywhere he went to take all these photos was usually on a trusted push bike, and it's actually, there we go. And for push bike, or he would bum rides with friends. I think we've got a picture here somewhere. Yeah, here we go. Back in the day when cars had roofs strong enough for you to stand on, so you could actually take an elevated photo of a train. Yeah. And another thing that he was actually quite known for was actually climbing up trees or posts to get the perfect shot. If we just look on the back cover here, we see him here scaling a pole in a suit, mind you, to get that perfect shot of North Melbourne locomotive depot being pulled down back in 1965. Now, I wouldn't even be doing that with a mobile phone in casual attire, let alone a suit and a camera. But anyway. But going forward, yeah, there we go, yeah. Some of these photos are really breathtaking, and just, I really wish short of having a time machine to go back to that period, that golden era that we all seem to want to model, yeah, this is a good substitute. Actually, the clarity and the sharpness of the photos is hard to think that a lot of this was done in the 60s. This is another unique photo. Could you ever imagine going to a locomotive depot dressed in a suit? But good on him. But I'm not going to show you the whole book because it might take away a bit of the joy if you were to get it. But yeah, they've got some absolutely stunning photos. Like, yeah, look at that one there. Kilcunda. I mean, you got surf, steam train, K-class, and an excursion train just rocking over it. I mean, these are scenes that will never ever be repeated ever again. That's reduced to a rail trail bridge, and we'd never ever see a train again. And a lot of things he recorded were just everyday things, even though it was the twilight of steam in Victoria. For example, we've got an early departure from what was Spencer Street Station, platform number 1, on a government tour train to the far end of the state. And his dedication was often, outstanding when you think about it. Like, he got up at some crazy hour of the night just to meet up with a train to take a photo of it, like if it was 1 or 2 in the morning. And a lot of these shots aren't actually, of trains blasting along at 70 miles an hour, in a big whoosh of sound. A lot of it's just like mundane things, like just shunt movements. Yeah, like you can actually see the difference in the world back then. People actually took pride in company gardens. Yeah. Page 16 if you ever get this book. Anyway, moving along, we've got quite a cross section of different parts of the state. We've got Gippsland, we've got Bacchus Marsh, the final run of the N classes in Victoria. A lot of older railway enthusiasts would know about that particular event. Yeah, we always got to have a silhouette shot, don't we? It's possibly one of my favourite shots, just on the Cudgera line, which goes from Wodonga all the way along up to the Snowy Mountains. It's a pretty isolated part of Victoria, but I just love that shot. It's a K-class going over Trestle Bridge with a stock train, so Again, never to be ever repeated. Yeah, we've got some bits and pieces from the Snowy Mountains. Now, because he lived in, I believe he lived in Geelong, or grew up in Geelong, that was his home base, he photographed what was local to him. But there's also, at that time, a lot of people may not realise it, but Geelong Cement actually had their own private 3-foot-6 gauge railway. And he's actually made a bit of an emphasis here to capture a lot of that. And they were famous for running the famous Australian Standard Garrett. Yeah, and some really good nighttime photos of the limestone mine at Flysford. Again, they no longer make cement in Geelong, and the brand's disappeared. But yeah, you'd never see a repeat of that. Yeah. By the way, that particular diesel there, T4, which actually became T413 in the end, which runs down broad gauge, but once upon a time it ran on 3-foot-6 on their own private railway there. Yeah. Now, apart from that, everything else is all contained to broad gauge shots across Victoria, and probably to some of you out there, you might even be, some of these places might look familiar. Yeah. If you actually look at the sharpness of that, that's actually 1967. I just cannot get over how good those photos and how sharp they are. Yeah, there we have a T-class pulling a string of K-classes into Beaufort. Yeah, absolutely beautiful. Yeah, just more magical stuff. I really do love it. Oyen in the top end of Victoria. Up at the Mallee. There we go, he's obviously taken that one from a grain silo. Very common in that part of the world. I used to live up there once upon a time as a child. Geelong Depot with a J-class on the turntable. Yeah, if you look at the clarity of that shot, and this doesn't do it justice, but yeah, these are really great photos. Surveston. If you see what Surveston looks like now, it's literally just one track. So yeah, this really does capture a moment in time. Yeah, I'll just be quiet for the moment, just let the photos do the talking. Yeah, that's another really good shot. I just love the background there. Anyway, that's the Victorian one. Ta-da! We also have, and we've gone a bit soft here, but we've got the Tasmanian one as well. So this is the second one that's come out in this series, and what an emotive shot that is, like a H-class blasting out of Hobart. I think that was in 1969, I think I read earlier, but yeah. Again, even if you're not really into Tasmanian railways, as a railway enthusiast, this book would still grab you. Back in the days when government railways still took a bit of pride, you can obviously, the Tasmanian railways went to a lot of effort, and I think they had their centenary in 1971, so a lot of engines got especially dollied up. But again, you got some really dramatic, perfect countryside or backgrounds to photograph trains against. Yeah. Again, I'd even buy this book for myself. Actually, it's me saying I am going to buy it. Yeah. Got some interesting pictures of what an Australian Standard Garrett looks like after it's derailed. Yeah. And he's even done a section here on Emu Bay, the famous Emu Bay Railway. If you're a train enthusiast and car enthusiast, you're going to see some old Australian classics there, and I don't know whether this camera's going to pick it up. But you can actually see some EKs and FCs, and there's usually a bit of a foreigner. There's a Volkswagen, but yeah, pretty much a pretty Aussie consist there. Mount Lyell. Even this scene here, I mean, it looks really like a scene you'd have for a model railway layout. It'd just be the perfect scene. A hotel pub literally out the front of a station yard. Yeah. Again, this is so unique. It's a moment in time that would never be repeated and was once just so common. Yeah. Yeah, look at that. You could just actually just fall into these pictures and just stare at them for quite some time and just study everything. Yeah. Back when Hobart actually had passenger train services. Yeah. Yeah. Just the pride they took in keeping. Well, that was what, 1965. Even though it's on a special. Wow, look how good that looks. Yeah, these really are good photos. Yeah. I'll just hold that up. How magical is that? Even that back shot, I mean, how good does that look? Yeah, I'll just bring that into focus. Yeah, there you go. Anyway, if you are interested, both of these books are available in store or online. Yeah, there we go. And any order over $100 is freight free within Australia. And if you are looking for a good Christmas gift for a train enthusiast in your life, maybe one of those books would be a perfect gift. Rather than giving another Flying Scotsman cup to that person, maybe give them a really good book. But anyway, that's all for me now. Like I said, they're available in store or online, and I can't say happy modelling this time. So I'll say happy train enthusiasm. No, what can I say? Happy Gunsel time. Yeah. Anyway, hooroo, and until next time, see ya. Bye.